So, on this week's review, this is very much a first impressions review.
Yes. Interesting. Because you had a very, 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 very special, lucky opportunity.
I did indeed.
arise.
I was one of the first 500 people in the UK to play the 3DS.
Which is awesome.
I know. I felt like a proper games journalist.
So how exactly did you get hold of this opportunity?
Okay, so basically I'm a member of Club Nintendo. Don't judge me.
Well, clearly it pays off.
It does pay off, yeah. And they sent me a little thing saying we've got some preview events going on in London, Birmingham, Manchester, Bristol, and Glasgow. So,
so you went to Glasgow?
I went to so I went to Bristol, obviously. Oh yeah, assuming we know that we live in Bournemouth. So,
yeah, and yeah.
So yeah, I applied to go to it, and I got it in 5 minutes. Basically, I've actually applied for these before and heard nothing back. So I was,
So they were like, "Yeah, you're going."
But yeah, I just got
Awesome.
You're going.
And so, how many people are at each of these locations? Like in terms of people like you.
It was actually smaller than I thought it would be. There was only sort of like a group of about 12, 13 at a time. They run it throughout the whole day.
But they don't want to get crowded.
They don't want it to get crowded. So it's not many people per time slot.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's quite kind of exclusive.
I suppose so, yeah.
Nice.
So it was a surreal day. Went to the Arnold Finney in Bristol, which is the big kind of venue, beautiful venue.
Yeah.
And it's all decked out in Nintendo gear.
Awesome.
And there's loads of models around, basically, like
booth babes.
Yeah, booth babes. Yeah.
Why?
I will come into that later. In fact, let's
weird.
do that now. That was me and my friend Scott went. You get a +1. I would have asked you, but you selfishly have a girlfriend. And
I'm sorry.
And it was Valentine's Day, so you were
what
busy.
bastard I am.
So yeah, but we both felt it was a bit weird having a load of booth babes because they really did know their stuff, or at least they'd been briefed well.
For an event.
They did their best. But this was not an event where people were coming in off the street and they were trying to entice them. You actually had to register to get into this. So anyone who was coming here had to go through this procedure to actually get this. So they clearly wanted to play with 3DS. I didn't really think they needed seducing into... it was just... It was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, these girls had been there for, literally, 11 hours.
What time did you go in?
Our time slot was 9, but we went at 7 and said, can we just go now? And they were like, yeah, fine.
In the morning?
No, at night.
Oh, God. I was going to say, that's horrible.
But no, they start at 8.
Right.
And, they go till 11. So they're there for a long time. And they not that you know it, but...
Well, hats off to the booth babes then.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
At the Nintendo events.
But just for next time Nintendo, you don't need to do that. We're not saying don't have any women, but there was only one guy there, and he was the sort of techie guy that was fixing stuff if it went wrong. It's like, you don't need to do that.
I'm sure some of the other guys there with you appreciated it.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
how was the actual 3DS?
The event.
That's the key.
Okay, so I'll break down what actually happened.
Yeah.
So they take you through a little kind of tour. The first bit is you see all the Nintendo handhelds from the Game & Watch. They're all these little cabinets up to the 3DS.
Sweet.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
They showed us a Spot Pass and Street Pass demonstration. I'm a bit more excited about it now. I thought it was a stupid feature. It's this thing where you pass someone in the street with a 3DS.
Yeah.
And it will kind of log your data and have a little virtual fight or something like that.
Without you doing it?
Yeah. And I thought, what's the point in that? There's more to it now. It will log your data and it will kind of ask you to compete when you actually get your 3DS out. When you get home and you put it in, oh right, someone passed me in the street. Do you want to play with them? And you say yes, and then it will actually get you both into a match there and then. So it's a good way. It's a good way if you don't actually know anyone with a 3DS to actually play online. So
that's a big issue.
That is actually I'm a little bit more excited about that feacher now.
That was one of the issues with Gizmodo. No, not Gizmodo.
Something.
Yeah, do you remember that device?
Yeah, the Gizmodo.
Basically, they had Gizmodo. They had a thing called was it gangs or something?
Yeah.
Basically, you were a coloured dot, and then if you ever walked near someone, who had a Gizmodo, they would come in as a different coloured dot.
Well, they did this little demonstration where they had a kind of projector producing a little thing on the ground. I've got photos of these, which I'll put up on the website after this.
Wicked.
After we've recorded.
So
you can all see. We'll warn you, they're shit pictures, because they were just taken with my phone, and because it was quite a dark event...
Was it the lighting?
Yeah, the lighting wasn't brilliant, so you'll have to excuse me.
So shaky cam, Mr. Blurry cam.
Yeah. But the projector kind of showed the spot pass feature, because what it was it allowed, like, all, like, 15 of us went onto it, and we all had our individual lines coming out of us.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, this is how, within the space of, like, 3 meters squared, so it's able to detect a lot of separate connections.
So what was the projector basically tracking your movement and then pasting it on the ground?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool in itself.
Then the shittest part of the demonstration game, we had a live Street Fighter demonstration and a live Resi Evil sort of role play type thing where you kind of, some guy dressed up as a marine is coming, go guys, you gotta go now, and you got the zombies trying to cling to you. It was fucking awful. It was excruciating, but
was it like the younger kids liked it?
I think maybe the younger kids would have, but that's the thing. There were no younger kids because you have to be 18 or over to go to this event. So really, everyone was just awkward as hell.
Oh,
though I did get my photo taken with Ryu and Ken, so
cool.
I know.
Yay!
To their credit, they did a well choreographed little fight, but it was just as soon as they went Shoryuken, it was like, oh.
So what did they do?
Christ.
Did anything happen? Did they have lights or something?
No. They got around that problem with the Hadouken. They went to do it, and then there's this little announcer who goes, "Time over!" when they're about to do it, and they both fall to the ground.
Oh, nice. Right, fair enough.
Which is sort of funny. Anyway, so after that, then we actually got to have a go on the hardware.
How was the 3D?
Right, the 3DS is... I'm a lot more... I was excited, then I was sceptical, now I'm quite excited again, because it's good.
Cool.
The 3D, it's not an initial kind of... When you initially see it, you're like, okay, that's not as mind-blowing as I thought it was.
Yeah.
But you spend a bit of time with it, and it actually is quite... Wow, it is really quite impressive.
What's the view, like, in terms of immersion in the game and viewing angles?
Right, I've had a go with this sort of thing. What happens is, if you move it forward and back, so the screen kind of, if you tilt the screen away from you or towards you, nothing happens. You can still see the 3D perfectly well, even up to sort of, if you have it like flat against your your vision. If you tilt it almost 90 degrees away from it, you can still see the 3D.
That's pretty awesome.
If you do it left to right, if you pivot it left to right, the slightest bit, it basically goes.
So what, even like 5 degrees?
Yeah, even 5 degrees.
Right, okay.
I gotta say though, not a problem.
Really?
No, really not.
Okay.
You think, what your hands are going to make involved. You really don't at all.
No?
It's perfectly easy.
That's right.
Honestly, it really doesn't. It's not a problem.
Because, like, what about...
Unless you have Parkinson's disease, it's really not a problem.
Well, what about, like you might even come on to this, when you have to move it, like, to do games with the camera.
Right.
That stuff.
The augmented reality games were amazing.
You like that?
Yeah, these little cards that you kind of like, you track them with the camera, and then things will happen to them. Little creatures will pop out, and you move around to kind of get them. As long as you keep it locked in with your vision, and it's not something you have to train yourself to do. It's very natural to actually keep it, flat with regarding your movement. It's fine.
Yeah.
The only game where this was an issue was Super Monkey Ball 3D, because you actually move that with a gyroscope.
So it's got a gyroscope, I didn't know that.
So you move the ball as gyroscope, because the 3DS has gyroscope.
But by doing that, you negate...
There is a 3D mode and a non-3D mode in it.
Right.
So that if you want the 3D on, you can use the thumbstick to move it. Even with the 3D, when you actually move it, it's so momentary because you recenter it so quickly. You don't really notice it that much. Your brain
can just overlook that as an issue.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It does happen. It does disappear, but it doesn't... I didn't find it to be that bad, to be honest.
Cool. So
the 3D overall, I'm actually quite impressed with. Yeah. What I will say though is, I played like pretty much all the games, even the games that aren't coming out at launch. I played, although there are a lot more games that we said last week for the 3DS's launch. Yeah. I didn't bother to play all of them because like stuff like Pez, I couldn't be bothered with that. So because we only had limited time.
Yeah.
I played Street Fighter 4 3D. There was a visual demo of Star Fox 3D because it wasn't playable. Mario.
Will that be playable and released?
No, it won't be because it's not coming out on release. There was a demo of Mario Kart. There was a demo of the 3D Snake Eater.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good. It's well good.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed showed off the power of the graphics.
Really?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
I'm sure the NGP will be slightly better graphics.
After seeing that Nathan Drake bit.
But seriously, it's like, if you've played Snake Eater on the PS2, it's better than that.
Wow.
So it looks really good.
That's awesome. I love Snake Eater on the PS2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. What else did I play? Steel Diver I played.
Oh yeah, that was one of the ones we
didn't
saw.
Get it. Just I didn't get it. No, I didn't understand it. Lego Star Wars: The Clone Wars was good fun. Ocarina of Time 3D I played. I so just want to sit down in bed for like a whole day and just play that through.
Is it just a port of the...
Yeah, but it's good. Awesome. It's so good. What else did I play? There were lots of other games. Resident Evil I played.
One other thing you did, not a game, but the on the control front, the actual controls. Yeah. So you get the shoulder buttons, the A, B, X, Y buttons to start select.
I played.
Oh yeah, Kid Icarus. Did that use the gyroscope?
Right, no, it doesn't. What that does is you move with the thumbstick.
Yeah.
You shoot with left trigger.
Yeah.
And you aim with the stylus or the touchscreen.
Oh, okay.
Works like a dream. Honestly. Really? It works like an absolute dream.
But how are you going to hold the pen and hold the game, the DS?
Just with the left hand. It's so easy, honestly.
It's not an issue?
No, not an issue at all.
Awesome.
It's so good. I'm really looking forward to that game now because it worked.
Was that one that sold you?
Yeah, it did. And I really wasn't looking that forward to it.
That's impressive because that was a rail shooter. In my head, that doesn't sound that awesome.
Exactly. My issue with it is the 3D I found for the vast majority of the games didn't really add anything to the game. They were a wow factor. It was, that looks pretty, but it didn't really gameplay wise affect it. The only ones that did were, although I couldn't play it, Star Fox looked incredible in 3D. Like it looked, the stuff that was flying out and stuff like that looked good. Kid Icarus, similarly. I think the on-rail shooter type things are going to benefit a lot from 3D. Snake Eater 3D, although I couldn't play it, you got an impression that actually 3D was going to really affect this when you crawl through the brush and stuff like that.
Oh, and all the plants are going past your face.
Looks like
awesome.
Like you wouldn't believe. Street Fighter 4 3D that's one of the best games I've played in a while.
Really?
I played it in both side-on mode and dynamic mode, where you're kind of like tracking them.
Oh yeah,
both great. Dynamic mode actually works really well, and it does add something to it. It's a different thing. The controls are spot on. It plays like 60 frames a second, like you wouldn't. I mean, that might be wrong, but it plays so smooth. The thumbstick, I'm absolutely taken with it. It's so good,
and it's not like a thumbstick on the NGP. It's like the one on the PSP.
It is like it's a slider, like it's a PSP. But anyone who's played the PSP's one,
it's shit.
This is unbelievably accurate and so good.
Really?
Yeah. Ocarina of Time, it was all of the games. It was great.
I really want to have a go now. Experience how it feels. Because
Ocarina of Time, I actually felt looked better in 2D.
Interesting.
But it's really good. Like, I mean, that's not to say it looked bad in 3D. It just looks so crisp and nice in 2D.
Would you be happy playing that all the way through in 2D?
Yeah, I would, actually, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the 3D slider thing that you can turn, you can vary. That's essentially, it might as well be digital. It might as well be on or off.
Right,
because it's so in between. No, you never do.
Fair enough.
so yeah, the whole event was great. I'm very much the games that I played on the whole were very good. Ridge Racer was another good one.
Ridge Racer.
Resident Evil: The Mercenaries I felt was not good. Didn't enjoy it at all. But this is just the Mercenaries one. I think the Revelations also looks graphically a lot better.
Did you see that there?
They showed a video of it.
Okay.
So I didn't. It looks good.
Awesome.
And it will be a proper game as opposed to just Mercenaries mode of Resident Evil. So I'm on the whole very excited for it now.
A lot more than you were before you got to go on it.
I certainly still won't be buying it at launch because I still think £230 is too much to pay for this. And I told them that there. You know, they said, will you be getting... Because they want to know if you're going to get it at launch. And I said no.
Did you explain why?
Yeah.
Cool.
And they seem to be... Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.